All right, let's get right into it. If you've been playing around with Go for web development, you've probably gotten a server up that says Hello World. Awesome. But how do you go from just that line of text to a real, actual website that looks good? That's what we're going to unpack right now. So you've done the heavy lifting. You've got a server that's actually running. It listens for requests, it sends back a response. You are officially a backend developer. But when you look at it in your browser, it's probably not that rich, dynamic experience you had in your head, is it? So what's that missing piece? What's the next step? Pretty much every web developer goes through these same steps. You start with a classic Hello World. Then you build a real HTTP server. You figure out routing to handle different pages, and maybe you even start using templates to make your HTML dynamic. But there's still this big question mark, right? This gap that separates what you've made from a real-world application. I love this analogy. Think of it this way. Your Go server is the engine. It's powerful, it's efficient, it does all the hard work behind the scenes. But without the body, the paint job, the wheels, the windows, it's not a car, it's just an engine sitting on blocks. And this is the gap we're talking about. Over on the left, that's what your server is probably spitting out right now, plain, boring, unstyled text. But on the right, that's the goal, a site that has design, cool visuals, and things you can actually interact with. It's really the difference between a grocery list and a beautiful menu. So that's the big question, isn't it? We've got the engine, and we know what we want the finished car to look like. How do we actually build the body? How do we add the color and the flair that brings it all to life? While the answer, the key that unlocks all of this, is all about handling assets and files. This one thing is the skill that lets you finally start bolting on that car body and making your vision a reality. So what are these static files or assets? They're just the pre-made parts of your website. Unlike the HTML that your server might be creating on the fly, these files, things like images, style sheets, they're just sitting in a folder ready to go. The server just grabs them and sends them straight to the browser, no changes needed. They are the absolute fundamental building blocks. And it really all boils down to three main types of assets. First, you've got CSS. That's your paintbrush. It controls all the colors, the fonts, the layout, the style. Then there's JavaScript. Think of that as the electrical system. It adds all the interactivity, making buttons work, creating animations, all that fun stuff. And, of course, you've got your images, which give your site its visual punch. And this right here, this quote from our source, Go Web Examples, this is the entire secret. The magic trick isn't some super complex algorithm. It's just teaching your Go server how to look inside a specific folder and serve up whatever files are in there. And in Go, this is actually incredibly simple. You use the built-in net/HTTP package, specifically something called http.fileserver, to point to a directory. You'll usually pair it with http.strip_prefix to clean up the URLs, and that's it. It's literally just a couple of lines of code. And just like that, the big question mark from our developer journey is gone. Learning to serve static files, that is the missing piece. It's the bridge that finally connects your powerful backend code to a beautiful interactive front end that people can actually see and use. Once you have this down, you are on the direct path to building a real app. You're not just sending text anymore, you're actually delivering a full experience. And I just love this. Our source material comes from a guide by a developer named Philip, who leaves this really friendly note. It's just a great reminder that coding is a community, and we're all just helping each other build cool stuff. So when it all comes down to it, this is the big takeaway. The code you write is no longer some invisible process just humming away on a server somewhere. By serving assets, you give your code a face. You make it tangible, you make it visible, and you make it something that people can actually interact with and hopefully enjoy. So now the power is really in your hands. You've got the engine, and now you know how to build and paint the car. You can add style, life, and interactivity to any idea you can dream up. So the only question left is, what's the first thing you're going to build?